Hey there, time travelers! Ready for another nostalgia trip back to the past? Hop in, because in today's video we are traveling back to the Hey Arnold era. If you're a 90s kid, you probably still have some burning pop culture questions left over from your childhood, especially when it comes to this particular show. We all loved watching the big football head and his daily adventures with his best friend Gerald, and watching Helga, his secret and slightly obsessive secret admirer, profess her love for him behind closed doors. But as many of you are aware, there was one particular question that was left unanswered for the longest time, further sparking many conspiracy theories and conclusions from fans. Of course, we are talking about Arnold's parents. What happened to them? Did they die? Why did they just disappear? And why did they completely abandon their only son with no explanation? Well, you came to the right place. Today we are not only covering what we know from the TV series and movie, but also the actual reason behind their sudden disappearance. Stick around till the end to discover where they ended up by the end of the TV series. Craig Bartlett, the creator of the American animated television programs, is the inspiration for Hey Arnold. The whole TV series ran from October 7, 1996 to June 8, 2004. Arnold, the main character, is a fourth grader who lives with his paternal grandparents, Phil and Gertie, in their Sunset Arms boarding house in the fictitious city of Hillwood. Episodes center on Arnold's experiences navigating urban life while dealing with the problems he and his friends encounter. Gerald Johansson, his best friend, is a street-savvy character who acts as the gang's leader, while Helga Pataki is a female who teases Arnold to hide her feelings for him. A lot of Bartlett's childhood friends serve as inspiration for the colorful cast of characters featured in the show. Throughout each episode, Arnold is either assisting a fellow student with a personal issue or finding himself in a difficult situation, sometimes both. Thanks to the producers of the TV series, we got not one, not two, but 3 episodes in the TV series that explained the background of Arnold's parents. In Season 3, Episode 60, Parents' Day, we got our first glimpse into the lives of who and where Arnold's parents came from. The episode showed Arnold as he struggled with a school event called Parents' Day, where parents of the kids he went to school with had to compete in a tournament. Gerald, his friend, suggests that Arnold bring his grandparents, since his grandpa can bench over 200 pounds, and his grandma is a karate master. Unenthused, Arnold lets his grandparents participate, and they actually do pretty well. But by the end of the day, he's still down in the dumps about not having parents to participate in the event. That night, his grandpa tries to tell him one of his classic made-up stories about where his parents are, but Arnold has none of it. He asks his parents for the truth, and Grandpa complies. He explains to Arnold that his father was a scientist, and he went out to find a cure for a terrible illness that infected a tribe in San Lorenzo. It was there that he met Arnold's mom, got married, and had Arnold. They came back home once they had Arnold, but a short while later, their friend came to tell them that the sickness was back and affecting the tribe's people. And Arnold's parents were their only hope. With conflicting emotions about leaving Arnold, they made a hard decision to go back to San Lorenzo to try and help the people who had helped them so many times in the past. Arnold asks his grandpa what happened after that, to which Grandpa replied that they never came back and were never heard from again. This particular episode explained a shortened version of Arnold's background. Not much detail was included besides that. But thanks to producers, they actually gave us another episode split into 2 parts a few seasons later. That went even deeper into details about Arnold's parents and the circumstances surrounding their disappearance. As mentioned, this episode was split into 2 parts due to the amount of details contained in the story. It aired in Season 5 of the show, with Part 1 being Episode 99 and Part 2 being Episode 100, both named The Journal. Part 1 starts off with Arnold in a dream with his parents fighting pirates and ultimately losing them by the time he wakes up. He wakes up and notices it's October 5th, the anniversary of the day his parents left and never came back. Feeling angry and sorrowful, Arnold packs up all of his parents' things and puts them in the attic in a way to move on from their disappearance. However, while up in the attic, he stumbles upon a journal that belonged to his father. Excited about his new discovery, he asks his grandpa to read it to him. As Grandpa reads the journal entries, we get exact details about how Arnold's dad, Miles, met Arnold's mom, Stella, in San Lorenzo. It goes into details behind their relationship, how they fell in love, conceiving Arnold, and even the birth of Arnold by the end of Part 2. It's very similar to the Season 3 episode, but with lots more to unpack, and the exact details on why this tribe, known as the Green-Eyed People, were so important to them. We get small details like the fact that Abner, Arnold's pig, was a wedding gift from the green-eyed people to his parents on their wedding day, and how they moved back home for the safety of Arnold, who was a baby at the time. The journal entry ends with Arnold's parents leaving to go back to San Lorenzo to help the green-eyed people again, mistakenly thinking that the trip will be quick and they will be back very soon to see Arnold. By the end of the episode, Arnold is at peace with where things left off with his parents. But as he's going to bed that night, he takes a look at the journal again and discovers that the last page holds a map, which he realizes is the path that his parents took on their last trip to San Lorenzo. Part 2 cuts off with Arnold excitedly shouting to his grandparents about his discovery. As mentioned, it's basically the same storyline of the episode in Season 3, but with a ton more detail. And since that was the last we see of Arnold's parents in the TV series, naturally fans went wild with conspiracy theories attempting to explain what happened to Arnold's parents after this particular episode. According to the various online surveys, many people believe that since Arnold's parents were explorers, they were simply still busy making their documentaries. This explanation was also provided by Craig Bartlett when he was asked by fans to explain this mysterious departure of Miles and Stella. Some of the fans also believe that Stella and Miles were caught up by the pirates and kept as slaves, which was a quite rational explanation because later in the series we see Arnold fighting off the pirates he believed had caught his parents. Another theory had fans believing that Arnold's parents died, either in an accident or while trying to help the green-eyed people. Luckily for us, the truth of their disappearance was explained in the Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie, which didn't air until 2017, more than 10 years after the last episode of the Hey Arnold TV series. In this Hey Arnold movie, we finally got the answer we were all searching for. It is here that we watched Arnold and his classmates, who were all in 5th grade at this point, go down to San Lorenzo and work together to find his missing parents. They of course go through many close calls and adventures only to find out that his parents weren't hiding or captured or even dead like many fans believed. As it turns out, his parents had been sick and unable to return home. Arnold and his friends stumble upon a strange community run by children. The kids are in charge because all of the adults have mysteriously fallen ill with sleeping sickness and are essentially in long comas. And of course, Arnold's parents, who originally traveled down to San Lorenzo to try to cure the sleeping sickness epidemic, have also come down with the sickness. After helping a few people, they apparently ran out of the cure and became infected. They had been asleep for the last 10 years. Desperate to get his parents back, Arnold and his friends managed to find a cure for the sleeping sickness. After curing everyone in San Lorenzo, including his parents, Arnold finally gets the family reunion he's always wanted, and he takes his parents home. And of course, the family reunion was touching and heartwarming, bringing many fans to tears. The movie concludes in Arnold's grandparents' boarding house, but with Miles and Stella living there now as well. We watch as Arnold heads off for his first day of 6th grade with Gerald, Phoebe, and Helga. Gerald and Phoebe are seen holding hands walking to school together, while Arnold and Helga are also implied to be a couple, despite Helga pretending to remain hostile towards Arnold once in public. Arnold's parents walk with him and his friends to school, and Arnold promises his mom and dad that they will see him at 3:30 as the doors close behind him. There you have it. Mystery solved. Having his parents come back was a great way to wrap up the story of Arnold and his friends. But what do you guys think? Did you like the ending we were left with? Or are you convinced that there is more to this story? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. As for now, that's all, time travelers. Let us know what video you'd like to see next in the comments. And like and subscribe for more time traveling videos.